Good afternoon and welcome to the Nantucket Sports Connection, NCTV, and welcoming the NFHS Network to our live coverage of Nantucket Whalers athletics. We are coming to you from W. Leo Shields Memorial Field here in Barnstable, Massachusetts for today's MIAA Division 4 semifinal game as the reigning Division 4 state champions, number 4 seeded Nantucket Whalers face off against the number 1 seeded Cohasset Skippers. Proud to be joining forces with our friends at the NFHS. As always, thanks for joining us here on the NSC on YouTube and locally back on Nantucket on NCTV channel 1072 and for a little while on channel 8. We've got a great crew. I am Chris Morris alongside Hammy Hurd, who will be joining me here in the booth. He is our Nantucket lacrosse royalty. Andrew Dame will be your eyes on the field. Thanks very much for joining us here. And of course, it's Charles in charge. Charles Douglas, the maestro behind the curtain. Today, the number 4 seeded Nantucket Whalers continue their journey to a second consecutive state title. They got here by defeating Lenox 17-2 in the first round, then took care of Sandwich 11-7 in a rematch of last year's title game. In the Elite 8 game, Nantucket never trailed and took down a feisty Ipswich squad 8-5 to earn their second consecutive Final Four appearance. And for Cohasset, they come in as the number 1 seed, and they have been atop the power rankings in Division 4 for most of the regular season. They dominated the South Shore League, going undefeated, and are 20-2 overall, having outscored its opponents 306-100. Their road to the Final Four began with a 17-0 shutout of Hull, a 19-2 win over Winthrop in the Sweet 16, and followed that up with a 12-3 win over a scrappy Littleton team that actually jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Cohasset turned the tides as the offense found its grooves and continued to outscore the Tigers 12-1 in the remainder of the game, in fact shutting them out in the second half to earn their trip to the semifinal game. The Whalers, however, are the champs until dethroned. The Skippers are here to do just that. Can't wait. We have the Division 4 state semifinal game here in just a few moments. But before we get to our actual game preview, I do want to take a moment here and thank our founding underwriter for the sports on the NSC and NCTV, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation. They have made the children of Nantucket High School a priority to their philanthropic efforts and have continued those efforts with their support of our live broadcasts. The Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, proud supporters of Nantucket Whalers Athletics. The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by Myrick, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MyrickLaw.com to learn how Myrick can assist you with your legal needs. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
First hoop, Simpson gathers for Nantucket. Francis over to Aguilar. He'll look for 3. Got it! Huge shot from Cup.
Every hometown needs a hero. Make home your home base. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Want to welcome you back to Barnstable, Massachusetts here at the W. Leo Memorial Field here as the boys continue their pregame warm-ups. You are watching live coverage of the MIAA Division 4 state semifinal game. The Whalers look to write another chapter in the school's history books after last year's run to the state title. Head coach Sam Aloisi has his team playing at its absolute best at the right time of the year. But they will have to be at their absolute best as they face the Goliath of D4 in the Cohasset Skippers. These two teams met early on in the season. Cohasset handed it to the Whalers on their field. 17-3 was the final. It was by far the most lopsided score of the season. In fact, we had to go back quite a few years to see a lopsided score like that. But that was then. And this is now. The Whalers have improved in nearly every aspect of the game and are riding a season-high 7-game winning streak. And most of this can be attributed to the improvements on the defensive side of things. Junior netminder Jeremy Jenkinson continues to prove why he is next-level material. He had 7 saves in the Whalers' Elite 8 win, 14 saves in the victory over rival Sandwich, and he will need to be at his absolute best. He will need to be sharp, as he will face probably the best offense they have seen all year, and certainly the best offense statistically in Division 4. The Whalers will also need their star in the making to show out today, as he has done all season long. Arann Hanlon was a huge part of last year's success, and he is no stranger to the big stage. So he will need to get his hands free for some shots on goal, just as he did in the second half of the Whalers' win over Ipswich. He was held scoreless in that first half, but Hanlon exploded for 4 goals in the second half to lead the Whalers to victory. And, of course, lacrosse is reliant on that X-Man. The X-Man will have a huge impact on the game today, and senior David Cirillo may need to have his game of his life to get through the Skippers' 2-headed face-off monster and Braden DeBona and Nate Moore. But there's a lot more than X's and O's, so let me bring in our residence lacrosse nut here, Hammy Hurd. Hammy, we've been hanging out here all year long waiting for this moment. We had a special moment here last year as we saw the Whalers win the state title against those Sandwich Blue Knights, and nice to be back here in this booth. It brings back a lot of great memories. Obviously, the Whalers have a tall task here. What do they have to do besides the obvious things? What sort of special thing do they really have to concentrate on here and do maybe a little bit better than they've done to get over this Goliath here, be the David, and come up with probably their second greatest win in the school's program's history?
True. It's, what it really comes down to, it's the battle of the face-off. When it really comes down to it, the battle of the face-off X is going to be a huge, huge predictor in this game, and it comes down to possessions.
Yeah.
That's it. And as we saw in the Cohasset girls game, you know, they won the face-off, ran down and scored.
Yeah.
Won the face-off, ran down and scored. And it's just, they've got to do whatever they can do to slow down Cohasset's face-off team and win that ground ball battle, turn it into a 50-50 ground ball battle to get those possessions. And it's going to be, Whalers got to pay the best that they played all year today if they're going to compete with this team, because this team is really good.
They're loaded up and down the lineup, obviously, for head coach Steve Rotondi and the Skippers. They have run through their regular season schedule with a buzzsaw. The 306 goals scored is the most in Division 4. Their lethal offense, combined with a senior in net that is looking to finish his career as a champion, just as they did in 2023. Lincoln Pattison, he will anchor the defense that has allowed just 100 goals, and that includes 2 shutouts, one of them in the first round of the tournament, as we mentioned, over Hull. The Skippers have been the showcase team in Division 4. They're riding a 14-game win streak. They can score in bunches, just as they did in the first meeting against this Whaler team back in early May. Gus Green led the way in that game with 6 goals and 3 helpers. Shane Mulcahy had 5 goals and 2 assists, and Max Mahanan added a couple of goals and 3 assists. Again, it was just a washout here for the Whalers. But in the Elite 8 win over Littleton, attacker Tim Donovan also got into the act. He led the comeback as he netted 2 goals back-to-back in that first half, spurring the momentum their way, and the Skippers never looked back. He ended up with a hat trick along with Will Santacroce to pace the attack. So the Whalers are going to have to try and slow down this high-powered offense. But I mean, you got to think that they're going to try and hang on to the ball as long as they can. Try not to get turnovers and really
the ball.
value
That's it.
those
what
possessions.
I've been talking about all year is cherish the ball.
I think
and another thing that could be a factor is if they stay on their hands and don't allow them to get that gut shot off. No uncontested shots. You don't even need that big huge whack. Just that little nudge.
Yeah.
Even on passes that will set up the pass just goes a little off. It isn't a perfect pass and knocks off the stick, is down on the ground, creating that 50-50 ball and win that ground ball battle, which is critical. It really is. They got to play great today. And you know the Cohasset's going to play great. So this is going to be so exciting.
I did read in that Littleton game, it seemed that they had a slow start. If the Whalers can jump on them a little bit early here and get in their heads just a little bit, that's all it takes in one game. You know, it's not rocket science we're trying to reinvent here. It's certainly, you still got to put the ball in the net. You know, obviously it's going to take a couple of little things to go the Whalers' way to play underdog here and come away with an upset win. And again, Cohasset's just got to play their game. Again, they've seen it all at this point.
You're watching one over right now.
Yeah.
They're great shooters.
Yeah.
You know, they got technically perfect.
I mean, it is up and down the lineup with big scorers. So the Whalers are going to have their head on a swivel no matter when and who has the ball for Cohasset. And again, we get to have the best seat in the house for the best game of the year, and hopefully we get to see one more. You know, as you can see, the captains are getting their final instructions.
10 minutes
from the stripes here, and I want to introduce our referees for this afternoon's contest: Roger Soroya, Steve Doherty, Dan Damish, and Bob Sproul. Thanks very much to all four of them for joining us here. Nice to have an extra set of eyes on the field
100%.
as always.
And they've also got the referee from the other day is down on it's kind of supervisors.
Oh,
so
right.
In a sense, we have 5.
Nice.
Kind of. You know, it's nice to see, and that's one of the most important things. The safety of the boys is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
The more officials you got, the safer they are.
Well, we'll take one more quick break here as we get all set up for the MIAA Division 4 semifinal game here between the Cohasset Skippers and the Nantucket Whalers. We're coming to you from Barnstable, Massachusetts. It's the W. Leo Shields Field here, and it is a beauty, absolute gorgeous day. We'll be back here on the NSC and NCTV and the NFHS. This special presentation of the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinals in the Boys Lacrosse is brought to you by Backyard Barbecue, located at 20 Straight Wharf on Nantucket. Check them out at acbackyard.com. Thanks very much for helping us get our show on the road.
It seems like leaders were destined to be so. Born with confidence, blessed with talent, graced with wisdom. That's how they might seem. But it's not how they're made. Leadership takes practice and discipline and critical thinking. It's not a gift, it's a choice, and it starts here. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Nantucket Ice is about community, camaraderie, confidence, jumping in, and being part of a team. Falling, but getting back up. It's about being part of the culture, friendships, experience. But ultimately, it's about being on the ice. Located in the heart of the island, it's about being a future for our youth, our families, our community. Come join us. Be a part of our community.
Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV over the past few years have done countless broadcasts that are both exciting and professional.
Shot, score! Jack Halleck!
I support NCTV's Nantucket Sports Connection because it's a great opportunity to reach island families, support students, and our local television station.
In 1965, a group of dedicated Nantucket parents came together with one goal: to raise enough money to develop game film for the football team. The following season, the Whalers went undefeated. These parents became the very first class of the Nantucket Booster Club. Over time, Whaler pride has grown into something far more than just wins and losses on the scoreboard.
Once a Whaler, always a Whaler. 1, 2, 3, Whalers!
Una vez un Whaler, siempre un Whaler!
What binds us is Whaler pride. It has shaped our island and student athletes for generations.
Whaler pride isn't just a tradition, it's an identity, a legacy for families who choose to plant their roots here in this community all year round. It can bring generations of island families together, and for Wash Ashore children, it can transform an unfamiliar place into a new home. The Nantucket Booster Club is a vital link between our community and Whalers athletics. It helps provide our teams with gear, additional travel expenses, and much more.
Volunteering for the Booster Club, it's a blast. From the homecoming to the pig roast, and most importantly, Hank, our school mascot. We're here to create a fun and welcoming atmosphere. More than money, we need members. And part of this club, you are a member, not just a volunteer. We need to build our community bigger and better to help our student athletes prepare for the next chapter in their life.
Support our kids and Whaler pride by volunteering for the Booster Club. To learn more, please email the address on the screen. Welcome you back to Barnstable here as we approach the final minutes of the pregame show here and get you all set up here on the NFHS along with Nantucket Community Television Channel 1072 locally back on Nantucket, and of course the Nantucket Sports Connection on YouTube. Hammy, you've played in these games, you've coached these games, you've coached right here on this Barnstable field. A couple minutes left, pregame. What's going through the guys' heads, and what do you have to do to prepare for this moment and not let it be too much?
Just dial yourself in and find that flow state to put you in the mindset to say, this is for me. This is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do. And
a lot of guys on this field. Actually, more guys for the Whalers as far as seniors. Only 3 on the Cohasset side of things, and the Whalers have 7. So it's one of those things where somebody's going to play their last game here today, and could be the last time they play lacrosse at a high level, or certainly at an organized level. Is there something you can do to not think about that? Is it just you're in the moment, doesn't matter?
I think all these kids know where they are at this time. They knew it. Like they had the mindset on Saturday, and obviously Cohasset's already there, and it's. These kids, as I said earlier, meeting the moment. That's it, and get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Again, it's just wonderful, the camaraderie that comes out of these team sports here, and certainly I think you and I are in agreement that the high school arena is kind of one of those last hurrahs for the purity of the sport. You know what I mean? Because now
everybody's professional in college.
Level, you're talking about professionalism, but this is for the pure of the sport, for your school, for your community. I mean, I don't know about you, but I went through, down on Main Street earlier this morning, and it was honk honk, go Whalers. They were obviously behind this team, just as they were last year through the run and to the state title. And for Cohasset, this is like an old hat now. They just are used to winning title after title after a couple here in the last 5 years. But it's special every year because it's a different group every year. So you got to tip your cap to both sides here.
Yeah, the growth. I mean, they were 11-10 last year. And they've just dialed it up, and they're a much better team than they were last year, thus being the #1 seed. And so many of our kids barely reached the field last year.
Yeah.
So it's so great to see this maturation of both teams and these kids growing into the role. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
And it's a testimony to their coaching and to themselves, because they got to push themselves to get better. Because whatever they did, they went from 11-10 to what, 19-2?
19-2, 20-2 now through 22 games, and again they have
1 minute.
The Skippers have blasted through a lot of their schedule. Again, their toughest opponent we'll see later on tonight in the Falmouth Clippers, and of course we've got the pleasure of hanging out here for another game here later on. We'll be covering the Nauset Falmouth game, the Division III state semifinal.
Such
How did we get so lucky?
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, this is just
dial in.
We hit the lottery here, the lacrosse lottery.
I mean, it just goes to show you, the Cape Cod and the islands
Good
of lacrosse.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to
We're going to turn it over to Joseph Rubin. He's got the PA announcements, lineups,
Final Four matchup
national anthem.
between the Whalers of
We've got the
Nantucket
opening
High
face-off
School
coming
and
up right
the
up.
Skippers from Cohasset High School. And now for your starters. First for the Whalers from Nantucket High School. On attack number 33, Jake Grant. Attack number 28, Andrick Mooney. Attack number 24, Nolan Mosscroft. Midfielder number 17, David Cirillo. Midfielder number 4, Arann Hanlon. Midfielder number 6, Noah Stringer. Defenseman number 32, Ben Yates. Defenseman number 45, Nick Yates. And defenseman number 2, Ken Jenkinson. And your starting goalie today for the Whalers, number 13, Jeremy Jenkinson.
Going to need a huge game from Jeremy
now
today.
For the Skippers of Cohasset High School. Attack number 2, Tim Donovan. Attackman number 4, Shane Mulcahy. And attack number 5, Gus Green. Midfielder number 16, Jack Mullally. Midfielder number 7, Bax Monahan. Midfielder number 11, Ty Dwyer. Defenseman number 13, Noah Rafferty. Defenseman number 36, Michael Wildfire. And defenseman number 25, Max Ellinger. And your starting goalie for the Skippers, number 8, Lincoln Pattison.
Senior Lincoln Pattison jogging out.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I ask that you all please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Great rendition.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. The strings were magnificent.
Wonderful job by Joseph Rubin, as usual. He does a great job here as the PA for multiple sports for Barnstable. We remember hanging out with him last year.
Here we go.
An incredible run to the state title here as Cohasset has already entered the field. They are ready to go here. The Whalers getting their final huddle. As we are all set and ready to go here for the state semifinal of the Division IV of the MIAA. Again, these two teams met up in Cohasset, and the Skippers took it to our boys. 17-3 was the final, but a lot has happened since then, and both of these teams have added a bunch more wins, and of course they have both earned the right to play here in the Final Four game with a chance to play for the state championship. It would be the second straight title game for the Whalers.
Touching gloves.
Clock reads 12 minutes. Whalers Nation, Cohasset Nation, are you ready? We're ready to go here from W. Leo Shields Memorial Field here in Barnstable. It's the D4 State Semifinal. Thanks for joining us here locally on the NSC on YouTube, NCTV, and the NFHS Network internationally. Cirillo flips it
Back check, nice back check.
Ball down.
They can't go out. See, they can't go out.
And tipped away.
Possession hasn't been declared. They're not allowed to leave the box.
And Cohasset will get it. And they own the first possession of the game. Opening moments here of the Division 4 State Semi. Cohasset finishes off the offensive attack as number 11, Ty Dwyer, sprints on, and let's see if the Whalers can come up with a stop here. Or whether Cohasset can take advantage of the opening possession. They work it around back behind the net once again. Up top, Mullally. Here's a run in. Denied. Back up top. Good patience here shown by the Skippers.
Ooh,
bounce pass, ball down. Cirillo makes a play on it.
Fight for it. There we go, man ball. That's it.
Stringer.
Nice.
Up ahead to
great ball
Jenkinson.
movement.
He gets blasted, but hangs on to it. He'll gain the zone, look for a friend, and
no, our ball.
Hanlon. Errant pass, however, intercepted by the Skippers' defense. That's Nate Moore, number 24.
Great recovery by Cohasset.
Out to midfield, little slip down, double team. Good ball pressure by the Whalers.
Nice grab. Watch this fast break. It's a little slow break action. Oh, hands are free. Nice recovery
Good job by the
Nantucket.
Whalers. Shane Mulcahy looking for an opening, unable to get one. Shot goes wide. First shot of the afternoon goes wide of the net. With 10-12 to go, still no score here from Barnstable. It's the Cohasset Skippers versus the Nantucket Whalers. Apparently the Whalers were short a man here as number 15. Paxton Fitch sprints on.
Playing defensive midi today. Short stick.
And they will be out without the talents of number 16. Kaiden Whitfield hurt his shoulder in that Elite 8 game. Here's a pass into the middle. Good ball movement, but picked away.
Go.
Soren Edwards on the run for the Whalers.
Find the open man or take
Long
a shot.
pole. Backs it out, and the Whalers have their first possession of the afternoon.
Nolan Moscrop moving the ball around. Andrew Mooney.
Mooney on the near side here as the Whalers get set up here. No score still. Stringer waits for his turn to jog on here as, again, the Whalers will need to use patience and make precise passing in traffic and try and get some hands free here. Back up top. Stringer. Off Hanlon's stick.
Fight for it. They got it. Nice.
Mooney.
Great
loose,
defensive
but
play.
He recovers. Stringer with some space. Fights for some more space. Spins
Great
through.
defensive play by
Moscrop battling along with Jake Grant, but it's Cohasset that
great cause turnover by Cohasset.
comes away with it. Here's Pattison out of the net.
They are just face guarding Arann Hanlon today.
Not surprising. Here's Max Ellinger, number 25, along the sidelines as Pattison swings it.
20 seconds.
And 22nd to call. That's a rare mental error by the Skippers there. And a flag
hold on.
down.
And they
maybe
rolled the
some
ball
words.
away. He rolled the ball away.
Delay a game.
Delay a game.
Didn't look like much there, but nonetheless, this is no...
4 officials.
no forum for that. You know what I mean? Got to give it right back to him.
Put the ball right down.
The Whalers get the first break of the afternoon here with a 30-second technical. It'll be Michael Wildfire, the junior defenseman, serving the 30-second technical. So let's see if the Whalers can take advantage of the man up here. Once again, thanks for joining us here on the NFHS, the NSC, and NCTV. A lot of N's going on here, baby. Mooney sprints on late here.
They guard Arann that far out.
There's a shot. Well, high of the net, but the Whalers back it up.
With a man-down defense right now. They're gonna
Here's a shot by Stringer. Low shot goes wide. Moskrop is there. He'll put it in.
They're not showing the penalty.
Yeah, it's not on the scoreboard, but there's a referee right there, and the penalty has expired here, so the Whalers unable to take advantage. They got a couple of shots off, however. One quality shot. Here's Grant. He'll fire. Good save. Pattison got the big stick up, and Cohasset with a rare turnover here on the clear. So the Whalers get it right back. No score here, 7:18 to go here in the first quarter. Coming to you live from Barnstable High School for the Division 4 State Semifinal game. Back to Jeremy Jenkinson it goes. They jump him. Here's Yates.
Find a friend. Find a friend.
And his stick gets taken down.
Yard sale. And there's another.
And possession will go to Nantucket, or to Cohasset, excuse me. And they've got some numbers if they want them, but they choose to relax. Get it set up here. Again, still no score, under 7 minutes to go in the first. Cahey gets it back behind the net. That's Mullally.
Nice ball move.
Inside, denied. Good physicality on defense. A slew of Whalers try and get to it. Here's a shot. Blocked in front.
Go, wheels.
No, Soren Edwards once again.
Find the open, look across the field. Look across.
He's going to need some help. And loses it.
Great ride.
Good aggressiveness by Cohasset on the clear
fast
attempt.
break here. Oh, they stop. Shut it down.
And good defense being shown by both teams here so far. No score. Clock now reads under 6 minutes to play. Whalers seem to be packing it in and letting Cohasset have a little bit of room, especially up top of the zone. And playing that man behind the net. Good ride outside. Cohasset swings it.
Great ball movement.
Here's a cut. Good denial. Good job by both defenses here. Whalers showing that they can move with the ball. Haven't allowed any free space so far. Good pass inside. Goes through, however. Jenkinson scoops it.
Go find the open man. Come on.
And let's see if the Whalers can get a clear here. Canton Jenkinson again. This is...
there you go. Canton, nice.
Fitch.
Man back.
Here's
nice.
Canton Jenkinson will gain the zone with the long pole. He'll spin away from one.
Oh, look at the cutter.
Good cut.
Great look.
Great
Hair late.
And again, Jenkinson will retreat back to his defensive side of things. Noah Stringer jogs into the offensive side of things as we approach 4 minutes and 30 seconds here in the first quarter. Still no score. Both teams kind of feeling each other out here.
Well, it just goes to show you that it's Nantucket's elevated their game and meeting this moment at this point. You know, that all can change in an instant in this game.
Absolutely. Don't blink.
But
Jake Johnson.
Coaches have really dialed up a very good defense on both sides.
Nice one-handed grab by Jake Grant as he Wheels it back out front. Mooney swings it.
Keep moving that ball.
Hanlon behind the net.
Oh, and he's got a shorty on him.
He's got a short stick on him. Let's see if he makes a move here. Pass out
Hands
front,
free.
low shot. Oh,
Nantucket back.
Well over the mark.
See, this referee is playing the end line.
Yeah. So Pattison able to get back there and
which is the way it should
change
be.
Possessions.
There you go. Get a good ride here.
Again, they've already forced 122nd. Here's Pattison, well out of net, and he lofts a pass over. And again, out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds. So that's the third turnover, I believe, by Cohasset.
Nantucket hasn't capitalized on it, though.
Absolutely.
So
not yet. Hanlon gets it back behind the net. Mosscrop swings it over to Jake Grant. Grant over to Stringer. Stringer back up to the top of the zone. Here's Tyler Miller. Under 3 minutes to play here. First quarter, still no score. Hanlon makes a run in. Spins around. Denied. Defender loses the stick. Hanlon's got some space.
Outside.
Oh, just outside of the net. Angle. Missed it by an inch. He scored.
Oh, there you go. Go get this.
On that same play against Ipswich. But unable to find the net. His first shot on goal, however.
Hey, keep this pressure on.
And nowhere to go for Cohasset here. Pass lofted. And finding the zone finally is the
they got a man open
Skipper's
on
offense
the other
here. Shane Mulcahy. Pass goes through.
Hands
Shot
free.
blocked. It will remain Skipper's ball. 2:10 to go here in the first. Still no score. Defensive battle here. I think that plays into the hands of the Whalers. Just trying to slow the pace here, but it only takes a moment, as you said.
These guys
that difference.
are so talented, this Cohasset Skipper team.
Max Monahan now comes in, and he'll sprint it ahead into the zone. Pass to the near side here as the Skippers once again work it around. And both teams communicating at a high level on defense.
Oh.
Tip pass. And Jenkinson able to get to it. But a whistle, maybe a push without possession,
exactly.
push from
Go.
behind.
Exactly. That's
So
what
a minute
I'm
35 gives the Skippers another opportunity here on the offensive side of things.
Skippers need to do something in 90 seconds, and the Whalers need to stop them for 90 seconds.
Again, they just keep rotating player after player. Jack Mullally back in number 16. Trading spots with Dwyer.
Paxton Finch being called upon to play the shorty. Big assignment for him.
Absolutely.
Doing a great job.
Yates recovers. Move to the outside. Quick denial. Good crisp passing. Here's a shot. Save made by Jeremy Jenkinson. First save of the afternoon for Jenkinson. And it will remain Cohasset ball down to 54 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Get in there. Watch your back. Come on. Somebody pick this man up.
Good sprint in. Here's another shot. Save made by Jenkinson. 2 saves in the possession. And here's a clear opportunity just off the stick. Quickly recovered by Cohasset. Whalers got to recover again. Fitch.
Oh,
here's a fast break.
See, that's...
And a score.
One little, you open the door.
Great job by Cohasset in transition.
Capitalizing off Nantucket's mistake.
Absolutely. 31 seconds left in the first quarter. And let's take a look at the replay here as the Whalers tried to recover. And an athletic move gets it by Jenkinson. That's number 2, Timmy Donovan. He opened the scoring in the first half of the Elite 8 game. A great pass from Will Santacroce. He'll get the assist.
There you go.
Cohasset goal scored by number 2, Tim Donovan.
Collapse on him.
Physical play there, no whistle.
Go. You got
15 seconds to go here in the first quarter for the Whalers. Now down 1-0. Hanlon gets on
You
here.
got 10.
Here's a shot. Scores!
Gets it by. Tie game.
Oh!
Lefty rocket from Jake Johnson.
The low shot finds the net. Let's have a look. Didn't look like much, but Moskrop able to get it up over to Mooney. He advanced it in. And Jake Johnson called for it on the right side, and he hammers it home to tie it up at 1. So some late quarter magic for the Whalers.
Nantucket goal scored by number 12, Jake Johnson.
So Moskrop will be credited with the assist, and the Whalers
Go.
win a face-off
Force
here.
it.
5
Force
seconds.
it.
Edwards tosses it up, tipped,
No, you're not gonna get to it.
and
Quarter's
that'll
gonna
do
come
it
to
for
the
the first
end.
quarter. We played 11 minutes and 30 seconds of scoreless
And then
lacrosse, and they
boom.
scored 2 times. Each
Cohasset
team tallying
won.
a single goal. Jake Johnson finding the net with 10 seconds to go. Timmy Donovan for the Skippers finds the net with 30 seconds to go. We'll take a quick break here and come back with the second quarter of action. We're tied at 1 in the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinal. This special presentation of the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinals in the Boys Lacrosse is brought to you by Backyard Barbecue, located at 20 Straight Wharf on Nantucket. Check them out at acbackyard.com. Thanks very much for helping us get our show on the road.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Support for the NSE provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by Myrick, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MyrickLaw.com to learn how Myrick can assist you with your legal needs.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Well, I welcome you back to Barnstable, Massachusetts here as you are watching the state semifinal here for Division 4, the Cohasset Skippers against the Nantucket Whalers. We're tied at 1 after 1 quarter of play. Jake Johnson finding the net for the Whalers with 10 seconds to go. Evened it up here as Timmy Donovan, just as he did in the Elite 8 game, got the Skippers on the board. We'll switch sides here as both defenses shown out, but if you'd have told the Whalers coaching staff we'd be tied at 1 after 1, I think they would have taken that all day.
12 down, 36 to go.
That's right. Cirillo battling still. He goes down, and
Whaler ball.
Whalers will get it on the push. So good job by David Cirillo. One way or the other, he won the faceoff. The Whalers gain possession here. Hanlon jogs it in, and he'll await a couple of friends of his to finish off the unit. Noah Stringer, number 6, comes off the bench as the Whalers work it around crisply here. Andrick Mooney. Tricky pass against the body as Hanlon sprints it ahead, looking for something. Unable to find a cutter. Just underway here in the second quarter. I want to thank the crew from Barnstable Hill. Stringer trying to make a move, unable to gain an advantage. Moskrop with another pass. Hanlon slips down, double team, triple team now. And Coach Aloisi calling for timeout. Didn't have possession, so unable to get the timeout.
Force him out. Force him out.
And timeout called now by
Cohasset.
Coach Steve Rotondi. A little touche. We'll keep it here as
play out of Coach Aloisi's playbook.
Absolutely. Coach Aloisi tried to
the
get
wizard
one,
of timeouts.
Unable to
timeout, Cohasset.
Have the possession here. So with 10:59 to go, still tied at 1 here in the second quarter. Obviously a special era of lacrosse here for the Whalers. Another special era for Cohasset that just keeps going. The era spans.
Well, they've got such a great youth program on both sides,
Yeah.
boys and the girls. They're just so dedicated that it's a pipeline. It really, really is a fantastic pipeline. And
it all begins at that youth level. You spent a bunch of time on
growing
Nantucket.
this, and we played back in the day when Cohasset was in Nibble.
Yeah.
We made a long trip actually with our cameraman's older brother way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I think Jeff Dommey was in 4th grade when we made a trip up to Cohasset to get a little. We were looking for better competition.
Sure.
Joe Gambroni was president, and they were a great team back then. You know, they've always had great teams at every single level. Numerous, you know, I bet you they've got like 4 U11 teams, 4 U13 teams, 4 U15 teams.
Well, they got another varsity team vying for a state title here as the girls varsity program for Cohasset beat our Whalers off island at their place in the Elite 8, and they are vying for a state title as well.
You go double it.
And Moskrop.
Little slip on that field.
Slipped a little bit as Cohasset advances into the offensive end. Sprints all the way around is number 4, Shane Mulcahy.
Soren Edwards has done such a great job this year at learning his responsibilities as a defensive player.
And the Whalers had to retool after
losing their entire defense.
Basically the entire defense. Canton Jenkinson, the only returning starter, and of course Jeremy Jenkinson in net. And fortunately for the Whalers, we got one more year with them.
Nice ball movement by Cohasset.
Good crisp passing around the perimeter, just waiting for their moment here. Here's a screen.
We'll pick and roll.
All the way around.
Hands
Shot
free,
comes in
gets
and
it by.
scores. Wow, what a rocket.
It just goes to show you. You allow them to get their hands free, and the way he shot that overhand shot is just
lethal.
Screens the ball. It doesn't give Jeremy the time to follow it.
Great catch by Gus Green. He gets the screen from number 16, Jack Mullally. And just out of the reach of
he's got to stay on those hands.
Jake Johnson there on defense and beats Jenkinson in the top corner.
As opposed to whacking him on the arm, he just needs to nudge that elbow a little bit.
2-1 now, the advantage for Cohasset.
Cohasset goal scored by number 5, Gus Green.
Whalers able to gain the possession. Andrick Mooney fighting for it. And Hanlon here.
There you go. Go.
Awaits Tyler Miller to finish it off. And the Whalers can operate as they win another face-off here. Clock approaching 9 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Cohasset just took their second lead of the afternoon, 2-1. Now the advantage. Tyler Miller, top of the zone. Just an absolute laser from Gus Green. Athletic move. Miller sprints ahead. Here's another pass inside, goes through.
On the face.
No call, but Whalers battle for it. Flipped ahead. And the scrum continues here at midfield.
This is so critical for Nantucket to stay in.
Cohasset sprints
stay
ahead.
With him. Stay in his hands. Stay in
Shot,
his hands.
Scores! Fast break goal by Shane Mulcahy. And the Clippers, just like that, score a couple of goals in less than a minute. With 9:02 to go, have a look at the replay. The sprint in is a quick move around Yates. And Jenkinson unable to make the save on the one-on-one move. Great job of turning defense into offense by the Skippers.
Cohasset goal scored by number 4, Shane Mulcahy.
Senior attacker. And the Whalers gain. Cohasset gains the possession here. So Canton Jenkinson coming off, holding his back a little bit. He got a little stick to the back. Here's another chance.
Oh, gets it by. Give him an
Good
inch.
job. Ty Dwyer, number 11, with the overhand shot, finds the net for the Skippers, and they have
Great
broken it
ball
open
movement.
here in the second quarter. And
Really,
scored
really great ball movement.
3 straight. Kind of lulled to sleep. The Whalers
number
were
11, Ty Dwyer.
Timeout, Nantucket.
unable to recover in time, and Coach Aloisi will call a timeout. We'll take a quick break here on the NSC and NCTV and the NFHS network and come back with second quarter action. The Whalers down now 4-1 as Cohasset scored 3 straight goals.
He's got it! He's got it!
Nantucket Sports Connections and NCTV over the past few years have done countless broadcasts that are both exciting and professional.
Shot, score! Jack Halleck!
I support NCTV's Nantucket Sports Connection because it's a great opportunity to reach island families, support students, and our local television station.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Beisel. As a 3-time Olympic swimmer, I know how important it is to take care of your health. Here in Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts, we are fortunate to have the team at University Orthopedics taking care of us for all of our orthopedic needs. Whether you are swimming laps or swimming to raise money to cure cancer, their team has you covered. Remember, you don't have to be an Olympic athlete to be cared for like one. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here, University Orthopedics.
Want to welcome back to W. Leo Shields Field here in Barnstable, Massachusetts. You are watching live coverage of the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinal as the Cohasset Skippers have taken a 3-goal lead here in the second quarter. It was tied at 1.
Just showing how well oiled of a machine they are. You give them an inch.
A little bit, and they have taken advantage. And they will gain
Nice play.
the ball off the face-off, and once again advance quickly. Pass goes off the stick and will roll out of bounds.
Whaler ball. Okay, now they need to execute here. They're going to climb back into this game. They've got to get a good possession here. What do we got here?
So the Whalers will put it in. Canton Jenkinson
Canton
back
Jenkinson's
into the
gonna
game.
take it.
With 8:32 to go here again, the Skippers up 4-1. Passes it across the field to
Give it
Jeremy
to Canton.
Jenkinson.
Give it back to him. Give and go. There you go. Nice. Good clear. Somebody's open.
Jenkinson sprints ahead, and he will gain the zone inside that 20 seconds. Passes it.
There you go. He's got some space. Go
Nice
lefty.
move. Shot denied.
In the crease.
Good job by the Cohasset defense there.
I wonder what if Nantucket was in the crease or why they were awarded that ball.
Skippers looking to clear it again.
Nice clear by the Skippers.
Max Monahan able to get it across here, and they'll get it set up once again, looking to add to their 4-1 lead here. We're in the second quarter of play. Just under 8 minutes to go, and the Skippers have scored 3 times here already in the quarter and hold a 4-1 lead after the Whalers held them to just 1 goal here in the first quarter. They've scored on a couple of fast break opportunities. Been a very clean game here so far. No penalties, all good move.
Great
save by
save.
Jeremy, however. Jenkinson able to get the stick on it.
Nice hustle by Soren Edwards there. No, he
Nearly.
didn't get it. He pushed it.
Nearly gained possession, but Cohasset will put it in once again. Good job riding on Soren Edwards. Shot.
Right out in front.
another
Great feed. Great feed.
take another look at it as Timmy Donovan
shows you how dangerous they are. That is a great feed.
Scores another goal. He's now got 2 here in the first half.
Look at, he sees his man, and they've got to check sticks.
Gus Green with the assist from Cohasset. Great catch and a quick shot, gets it by Jenkinson.
Scored by number 2, Tim Donovan. Assist on the play by number 5, Gus Green.
Just over 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
Great vision by Cohasset.
Cohasset has scored 4 here in the period and now hold a 5-1 lead. And they will have another possession off the face-off. And advance it into the offensive end. So they have certainly grabbed the momentum here in the second quarter. The Skippers flexing their offensive muscles. And they are looking to add another one here. Whalers going to have to come up big here on defense if they're going to keep this thing close. Behind the net. Working it around. Back across, Dwyer. Over to Dolan. Back behind the net. Skip pass. Santa Croce holds up. Gets it inside, broken up. But the Skippers get back to it. Here's Green.
This game.
Good job by Jake Johnson staying with number 4, Mulcahy. Shane Mulcahy.
Oh, right there.
Oh,
Nantucket is lucky there.
Another one as it bounced over the head of Jenkinson. A little too much whip on that one. Green swings it over to the top of the zone to Dwyer. Far side of the field, back behind the net. And the Skippers can now use some clock here as it approached 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second quarter. They lead 5-1. Reverse field. Back up top. There's Dwyer, number 11 again. Have a little switch. That's coming into play number 16, Jack Mullally. Interchange of midi. Again, the bench very deep for Cohasset, not very deep for the Whalers.
Is there a penalty?
Under 4.5 here.
Okay, so he's coming out. Okay. There we go.
Here's Max Monahan. Back up top. Behind the net. Again, good patience shown by the Skippers here. As they work a little clock. Little ISO play. Pass in front.
Boom.
Another shot.
Same thing.
Absolute rocket gets by Jenkinson.
They're catching Nantucket asleep there. I mean, that.
Number 10, Jake Dolan.
He wasn't
should
really
be credited for the goal here.
He didn't really move the ball. You know, he was just hanging out, waiting for that pass, and Nantucket allowed it.
Monahan here with again another
Right there,
good pass.
nobody's on him.
As you can see in the replay, Yates late to the play, and he almost got in the way of Jenkinson. But either way, that was a laser from Jake Dolan as he gets into the scoring column. Battling for it once again, and Cohasset able to get to it. 6-1 now the lead with 4:05 to go as Coach Rotondi takes a timeout. And we'll take it as well here with 4:05 to go here in the second quarter. The Skippers have broken open here with 5 goals in the second quarter. They hold a 6-1 lead in the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinal. This special presentation of the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinals in the Boys Lacrosse is brought to you by Backyard Barbecue, located at 20 Straight Wharf on Nantucket. Check them out at acbackyard.com. Thanks very much for helping us get our show on the road.
It's over! It's over! The Whalers win! The Whalers win!
I want to welcome you back to live coverage here of the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinal, coming to you from Barnstable High School here. It's the W. Leo Memorial Field as the Cohasset Skippers face your Nantucket Whalers, the number 4 seeded Whalers playing the number 1 seed in Division 4, and the number 1 seeds showing why they are ranked number 1. They've ripped off 5 goals here in the second quarter and hold a 6-1 lead. They have possession of the ball as the clock approaches 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first half. Thanks very much for joining us. I got to give a shout out to our friends over at Backyard Barbecue. Thanks very much to Denise and her crew for helping us get off island here. Always fun to take a little boat trip and celebrate Whalers athletes in competition. And, of course, all of you watching from Cohasset, joining us on the NFHS network. Happy you could join us here as
your team is looking good.
Team is looking good so far here, for sure. They have looked very impressive, crisp on offense after a slightly sluggish first quarter.
Oh, but just showing that they capitalize as soon as the Whalers give them an inch.
Anything, yeah.
They are jumping on it.
And they
finding
have
the open person.
Spread it around 5 different goal scorers already. Here's another screen. Good job by the Whalers to deny that. Here's another opportunity. Pass deflected. Good job by the Whalers defense, but quickly recovered by Monahan. Still lots of lacrosse left here as we approach 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in the first half. Here's Green. Pass inside.
Right out in front. Good look. Great save.
Here's Green. Rifle shot. Saved by Jenkinson.
That somewhat was a hard pass to the goalie. He's got to take a better shot than that.
See if the Whalers can get it clear here.
There you go. Roll.
Jake Johnson
nice.
able to get it across the
good
midfield.
Here.
Whalers in desperate need of a goal here to stay within reach of this Skippers team. They're down 6-1. 5 straight goals scored by Cohasset. Arann Hanlon yet to score here. Done a good job face guarding him. Here's Johnson. He's the lone goal scorer for Nantucket, the senior attacker. He gets it back from Hanlon. Here's Johnson. Trade spots with Andrick Mooney.
80 seconds left in the first half.
Mooney just a sophomore. He loses
it. Defensive play. Nice recovery by Andrick.
Retreats. Down to 1:10 here in the first half. They've still got plenty of time to operate. Johnson makes a move. He fires a low shot, goes all the way through. Grant is back there to back it up. And he'll put it in here. Defense extending out for Cohasset as Grant tries to sprint around the long pole. Unable to gain an advantage. Here's Johnson near side. And another slip and a push. And before that, I believe Coach Aloisi was able to call a timeout here with 40 seconds. Saves that possession before Johnson got dumped on the ground. We'll keep it here as Whalers need to regroup here at halftime. Obviously, it'd be nice to get one just to before the end of the first half here as the Skippers have shown why they have earned that number 1 seed here, and they have exploded. Donovan's scored. Mulcahy, Gus Green, Jake Dolan, and Ty Dwyer all in this second quarter as they found something and has found their rhythm basically on offense.
Yeah, they're displaying the excellence that they have at finding the open man and to get a great shot off. And it's just a testament to how good this team is.
Yeah.
And but also too, Nantucket's, giving them a little bit too. The last goal, the Cohasset player was just, nobody's on him.
Yeah.
And
I guess I'm open here. I should probably shoot this.
Well, the old school way was whenever there was a pass, check sticks, and everybody just found the stick closest to them, and you checked it as hard as possible. And that guy, their player was just so far wide open that nobody's close to him.
He can wind up.
Can't allow themselves to give that much room if they want to stay in this game.
Absolutely. Gus Green with an athletic and high-powered laser. Jake Dolan was the junior midi that caught that pass and found himself wide open, was able to net it. And Timmy Donovan's netted his second here also in the second quarter. As I said, Shane Mulcahy as well. The 3 captains for Cohasset, Mulcahy, Green, and of course Pattison in net. 2 of those 3 have already scored here. And again, the Whalers got to get Arann Hanlon involved here.
30 seconds.
6-1, Cohasset with the lead. Whalers looking to get one here before the end of the first half, down to 15 seconds.
There you go.
Quick pass. Good spin. Shot goes high. Clock stops with 8 seconds to go. Going to have to be something quick. That was Nolan Moskrop looking for that top corner. Here's a sprint in. Pass goes through, and that will do it for the first half. 1 second to go on the over and back. As Jenkinson catches it. We've reached the end of the first half here in the Division IV State Semifinal. Thanks very much for joining us here. We'll take a quick break here and come back with the second half. The Cohasset Skippers, behind 5 straight goals in the second quarter, hold a 6-1 lead over the Nantucket Whalers. We'll be back here on the NFHS, NCTV, and NSC's presentation of the MIAA's Division IV State Semifinal.
It seems like leaders were destined to be so. Born with confidence, blessed with talent, graced with wisdom. That's how they might seem, but it's not how they're made. Leadership takes practice and discipline and critical thinking. It's not a gift, it's a choice, and it starts here. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by Myrick, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MyrickLaw.com to learn how Myrick can assist you with your legal needs. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
It doesn't get any better than this. Here we go. Opening face-off is upon us.
A lot of traffic in there.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Loose. Loose in front. Shot scores. Miles Bodette stick-to-itiveness. Good double team. Good quick pass by Miles.
Great ball movement.
The Tigers with a man advantage. Shot scores.
Great job. There you go.
A minute later, the Ipswich Tigers score their first goal. Looks like it was that guy, Finn Wright, sitting on the doorstep. Johnson, a little, hey, how you doing? Oh, and Noah Stringer!
Perfect placement on that bounce shot. Oh, that is great to see. No whip on that stick.
Put it in. Here's Finn Wright with space. Goes off his stick, but he gathers. And good stick handling by number 1. The junior coming in. Pass, shot, score. Wow, nice angle. Trevor Manning.
2-2.
Tigers will be without their star scorer, Finn Wright, for the next little bit here. Shot, score, just like that, baby.
What a rip by Jake. Oh, my God.
Jake Grant winds up and finds the net. So a turnover here as the Tigers can now advance. Good pass inside, shot, scores.
Great look.
And that is Harrington, recovers and scores his second of the game, diving down. What an athletic move as there was a little give and go here. Quick swing.
There you
Grant.
go. Jake's got his hands free.
Swings it. Good defense by the Tigers. Here's a low shot.
Yes!
Scores!
Jake Johnson, lefty rockets.
So the Whalers lose a key defensive cog and a backup X-Man. So it'll be maybe Daniel Bouchard, who we see right here, 34. Finn Wright gets space and shows why he's the Cape Ann League's leading scorer with nearly 100 points on the season. He's
swims.
Gone over that here in the playoffs. Hanlon looking to make a move, finally sprints it. Shot, quick trigger from number 4, and he nets his first goal of the game to give the Whalers the lead once again. Down to 10 seconds to go. Bodette gets blasted. Gilman it. Hanlon scores with 2 seconds to go. Make it 1 second.
Talk about making haste.
Bodette finds Hanlon.
Oh my.
And Arann Hanlon makes the Tigers pay.
A little too much noise.
Yeah.
Gets made, and they know.
So Ipswich with an opportunity here, a minute locked in, I believe. Here's a shot, scores.
Gets one by, 6-5.
Moskrop. Over to Hanlon. Hanlon surveys, backs it out. Trevor Manning trying to guard him. He sprints ahead.
Gets it by. 4 minutes left. 7-5. Arann Hanlon, great individual effort.
On Vito Capizzo Stadium, an absolute fantastic crowd from both sides.
Critical
Here's room
by both of these. Look at this.
Sprinting, scores! Arann Hanlon with his 4th goal of the game. Looked like the defense just let him run. 2, 1, final 4 bound. The Whalers shut out the Tigers in the second half.
Wow.
Time to celebrate, Nantucket. You're going back to the Final Four for the second year in a row. Enjoy it, Whalers Nation. It doesn't get any better than this. Your reigning Division 4 state champions are headed to the Final Four once again. The trophy is in hand. They didn't touch it last year. They didn't touch the trophy, so we'll see if they touch this one.
Don't touch it. They don't want to touch it.
Touch. I gotta love that. Not done yet. Just a great shot here.
Wow.
Whalers Nation, enjoy it. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Want to welcome you back to Barnstable, Massachusetts, here at the W. Leo Memorial Field. We're still at the half. As you can see, the Whalers getting some talking to here. If they're down now 6-1 here at the half. A great replay, though, and highlight reel from that Ipswich game. And you saw Arann Hanlon. We need some Arann Hanlon here. He has been silenced here in the first half, just as he was against Ipswich. So we'll see if the Whalers can try and work him in here some other way. But so far, the Cohasset defense has stymied the Whaler offense, and their offense got clicking here in the second quarter. Obviously, they had 5 goals scored. Timmy Donovan led the way. He's got 2, including one in that second quarter. Mulcahy, Gus Green with an athletic goal. Jake Dolan with the final tally, and Tay Dwyer also scored. The single tally for the Whalers was scored by Jake Johnson. And we said it was a couple of misplays there on the defensive end by the Whalers, gave away a couple of goals. But otherwise, they just got to get more ball pressure. Just overall ball pressure on passes, and interior passing has been too free.
Sticks on gloves.
Yeah.
No uncontested passes, and they've got to cause turnovers.
Yeah.
And they need to execute on offense and finish what they start when they have the ball. And that's how you climb back into this game. And Cohasset did not come here to lose, so it's not going to be easy.
No, they did not. Neither team with a bunch of seniors. The Whalers do have 5 guys on the roster that will be graduating, just 2 for Cohasset. So we were talking, this could be coming up here next year as both these teams kind of run it back here. But the Whalers going to have to come up with a yeoman's effort here in the next 24 minutes. And Jeremy Jenkinson's going to have to play his best 24 minutes here if the Whalers are going to try and claw their way back in this thing and come back to expunge Goliath here. And it is an even taller mountain now, down 5 goals. And again, Cirillo's done his job at the X. He's about split time. Definitely gained enough possessions for the Whalers to score more than 1, certainly. We knew it was going to take more than that, but
they need to play better defense in the second half.
Yeah.
And they've got to get on those hands, check sticks, do whatever you need to do to be able to climb back into this game. And Cohasset just is exemplified why they're here.
Absolutely. And they have earned that number 1 seed for sure for Coach Steve Rotondi.
Just crisp.
Yeah.
They're just they find the open person, and that open person takes a great shot.
High percentage shot, and they have, honestly, they've only missed a couple of shots, so they are shooting at a high percentage, passing with a purpose, and defensively very aggressive, especially on number 4, Arann Hanlon, the Whalers' leading scorer. He comes in with 74 total points, over 50 goals. And he has yet to even take a shot here this afternoon. That's got to change for the Whalers. So we are at the X here. Whalers Nation, Cohasset Nation, are you ready? 24 minutes left of lacrosse here in the state semifinal. A trip to the state championship on the line.
See, he just went out of the
Cohasset
crease. He went out of the box. He
gains the
stepped out
zone
before he got
once
the
again.
ball. I'm dying to talk to the officials about this.
11:40 here as the opening moments of the second half. Cohasset owns the possession and a 5-goal lead. Back up top. They work it around. Lally behind the net. And Whalers in desperate need of a turnover here or a stop on defense one way or the other. Good ball movement by Cohasset as they work it around here, near side and back behind the net.
At this point with this
sprint
lead,
all the way in. Here's a shot. Save made. Good
Great,
look.
great.
And off the stick of Canton Jenkinson, but he quickly scoops and sprints ahead. Cross midfield and into the zone. He's got some space with a long pole shot. Save made.
See that? The bounce off the turf is a little different than the grass.
Absolutely.
And you want to bounce it kind of outside the crease.
Yeah. So it skips a little bit. Tough pass. Scooped up with the long pole and swung across as Shane Mulcahy on the run gains the zone as Cohasset quickly clears and gets it into the offensive end. They hold a 6-1 lead here in the third quarter. Nearly off the stick of Santa Croce, but he gathers. Sophomore attacker coming off a hat trick in the Elite Eight game to pace the Skippers, who again made a second half comeback, much like the Whalers are going to need to do here today, down 6-1 off the stick. Still plenty of time to scoop and recover. Ty Dwyer. Pass over. Nolan behind Dolan, I should say.
Great rip.
And another goal by Cohasset.
Great rip.
They score their sixth goal. Let's take a look at the replay here as the skip pass. Dolan behind the net gives it up to Mulcahy. And a couple of guys sitting in front of the net draw the defense in, and a tough angle finds the net.
7-1, Skippers up.
And Cohasset now flexing their muscles. Gus Green going to be credited with his second goal of the afternoon.
Scored by number 5, Gus Green.
Battle in the corner here. Good job by the Whalers defense. And they force a turnover. Yates.
Yeah, they're going to call push. Yeah, it's a push on Nantucket.
9:05 to go here. 7-1 now the advantage. We're in the third quarter of play. Cohasset with the lead and possession of the ball. Thanks again for joining us here. You are watching live coverage of the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinal from W. Leo Shields Field in Barnstable, Massachusetts. The regional site. The Division 3 game will be later on this evening. For those that are joining us on the NFHS, stay with us. Hammy and I will be on the call for that game as well. Here's a move inside. Good cut.
Great recovery by Nantucket.
Back shot. Save by Jenkinson. Pass is tipped. Scooped quickly. Advance in. Fast break. Cohasset scores. Max Monahan picks it up off the turf and sprints in.
Nice capitalization.
As the Whalers cannot afford that kind of a goal. 8-1 now the lead. As the Skippers have scored 8 straight. After the first quarter ended tied at 1. And a win streak of 14 games for the Skippers. 7 games in a row for the Whalers.
Oh, they've just been on a tear since that loss to Falmouth.
Absolutely.
That is exactly. That's a
Noah Stringer draws the whistle, and the Whalers will put it in here as Arann Hanlon scoops it up. And if the Whalers are going to have any chance, he's got to get going here. And in a hurry, as Nantucket's going to have to play with some pace. Ball goes off of Johnson's stick. Quickly scooped up by number 1. Clyde fails. He gets double teamed, but battles through it.
Great job.
Still has it.
Hey, there you go, Nantucket.
Finally down. But the Cohasset Skippers sprint ahead. Shot and another score.
Unsettled situation.
Gus Green, that's another one. He's got 3 now.
They are just excellent at capitalizing on unsettled situations.
Great individual effort, however, to get the ball ahead. Finally lost it.
Cohasset goal scored by number 5, Gus Green.
Was Clyde Fales, the sophomore. And just like that, Gus Green able to find the net in front of Jenkinson. As frustration now setting in on the Whalers here. They find themselves down 9-1 after being tied at 1 after the end of the first quarter. 7:45 and counting here now in the third. Stringer flips it up. And
nice.
Hanlon able to scoop it. Arann Hanlon. He's been held scoreless so far. Here's Miles Bodette. His first action of the afternoon. Whalers got to get something going here in a hurry if they're going to mount any sort of comeback. Again, Cohasset has suffocating defense, but they have suffocating defense. It's like their offense sets up their defense. You know, they're so good on offense, you're pressed on your offensive side of things because you got to score so many goals.
They are displaying why they are the 1 seed.
Absolutely. Here's Stringer. Stops. Tries to get some space, unable to do so. Here's Mooney. Denied. Again, great defense showing. Seeing Braden Bistick against Jake Grant here. Great look at it behind the net. Stringer comes in to try and set a screen. Jake Grant unable to find an advantage. Just stingy defense by the Cohasset Skippers. Clock down to 6:15 left here in the third.
Oh,
Pass
there you
goes
go.
in front.
Oh, so close.
Unable to get a clean shot on it. And Cohasset slipping down and gaining his feet is Bestick. They're going to have to hurry to get it across here, though. And here's a turnover forced by Nantucket. Hendrick Mooney scoops.
Great turnover.
And they gain the zone. So good job by the Whalers defense denying the...
There you go. Oh, so close.
Grant had to move it around. He reverses field. And looks for an open Whaler. There are none. Skip pass underneath the stick of Tyler Miller. Should be over and back. Finally, the whistle comes with 5:24 to play. Third quarter. Whalers down 9-1. Cohasset with the ball. Sprinting in all the way in. Behind the net.
Man up top. Hands free.
Jenkinson was there, got a piece. Cohasset backs it up, however. Again, Shane Mulcahy almost sprinted ahead of the defense, much like Hanlon did through the Ipswich defense, as we saw in the highlights there at the half. Again, thanks to our NCTV crew for putting that together. Good ride by Soren Edwards. Cohasset able to...
Nice. That's the kind of check that you want to do.
It's Canton Jenkinson behind the net. Pass goes through. Advantage. Save made by Jenkinson. Skippers are back there. 4:32 to play. Again, many thanks to Sophia Reese for putting the final touches on that highlight reel from the Elite Eight game for the Whalers. 8-5 win. Good catch by Gus Green. As Cohasset again showing some poise and patience here, swinging it around. Still got a couple of high quality shots on this possession as well. Another skip pass. Low shot scores, underhanded. Ty Dwyer, the junior midi, goes low to high and beats Jeremy Jenkinson for the 10th goal scored by the Cohasset Skippers. Gus Green able to find him up top. And Dwyer avoided Hanlon. And it went from low to high and got by Jeremy Jenkinson. 10-1 with 3:55 to go here in the third. As Cohasset has clamped down on defense and flexed their muscles here on offense, showing why they are the #1 team here in Division 4. Another sprint in as they'll get it set up with Santa Croce And Dolan, number 10, who gets the ball here at the top of the zone. Shane Mulcahy, one of the seniors.
Daniel Bouchard in with a long pole.
Pass in front, quick shot, and another athletic goal.
Just goes to show you how well they move that ball around.
Jake Dolan with the jump shot.
And how well they cut off ball.
Number 10, Jake Dolan.
It is
giving him an inch, and Nantucket's
a half step slow.
Oh, and they can't give him that inch. That's how good this team is.
It is not often that Jeremy Jenkinson lets in 11 goals, but here we are with 3:15 to play. Whalers down 11-1 in the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinals.
There you go.
Hanlon. Just a junior for the Whalers. And a turnover by Nantucket behind the net, just off the stick. And it's been that kind of afternoon for Nantucket. They can ill afford those kind of errors at this point in the game, as the Cohasset Skippers have gained control.
Since the first quarter.
Certainly not here in the second half, and really from the second quarter on, you're right, they have just been very, very crisp.
They made some mistakes in the first quarter, and Nantucket needed to capitalize on those to be able to stay in this game. And Cohasset was able to withstand those mistakes and press on and display this great off-ball cutting and great ball movement, great feeding.
They've found their rhythm here on offense for sure. And they have phenomenal athletes. It's just no other way to put it. There have been some athletic moves. In addition to that crisp pass, shot goes wide, nearly another one. But Cohasset's back there with 1:58 to go here in the third. They now hold an 11-1 lead over the Whalers. The state semifinal. Norwell and Manchester Essex just underway at 5 o'clock. They're playing up in Watertown. The winner of that game will, well, I don't want to say play Cohasset, but it's looking that way as the Whalers down 11-1
at this moment. And that Norwell-Cohasset game earlier in the year was an 11-10 overtime victory for Cohasset.
And Manchester Essex, the lower seed, as they upset the number 2 seed Weston in the Elite Eight. Here's another good pass behind the net. Swinging it around right in front. Nicely broken up by the Whalers' defense. Yates loses it, however, and quickly scooped up and back on the run the other way come the Cohasset Skippers. Again, time is their friend as we're under a minute to play here in the third quarter. 11-1, the Skippers lead. .40 seconds to go as the Whalers got to come up with a defensive stop here. Pass in front, just off the stick.
Lucky. That's one of their.
And out comes Canton Jenkinson. Quick scoop.
There you go. We
with
got
the
a fast
long
break
pole.
here. Come on. Somebody's going to be open.
Pass out of the reach of Jake Grant. And the Whalers turn it over once again. Just 15 seconds on the clock here. So in all likelihood, this will head to the fourth quarter. A Gilman attempt here. And that sails well out of play. With 3 seconds to go. They'll get a chance. With 1 second, actually. As Jenkinson lets one go. We'll head to the fourth quarter of play. The Skippers showing why they are the number 1 seed. They have played to an 11-1 lead after the end of 3. We'll be back on the NFHS, the NSC, and NCTV with the fourth quarter from Barnstable High School. It's the W. Leo Shields Memorial Field. We'll be back with the fourth quarter.
It doesn't matter when nobody tells you believe in yourself. Power comes from within. If they counted you out, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna win.
This special presentation of the MIAA Division 4 State Semifinals in the Boys Lacrosse is brought to you by Backyard Barbecue, located at 20 Straight Wharf on Nantucket. Check them out at acbackyard.com. Thanks very much for helping us get our show on the road.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Beisel. As a 3-time Olympic swimmer, I know how important it is to take care of your health. Here in Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts, we are fortunate to have the team at University Orthopedics taking care of us for all of our orthopedic needs. Whether you are swimming laps or swimming to raise money to cure cancer, their team has you covered. Remember, you don't have to be an Olympic athlete to be cared for like one. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here, University Orthopedics.
Every hometown needs a hero. Make home your home base. Learn more at nationalguard.com/MA.
Want to welcome you back to live action here as the fourth quarter of play is about to get underway here. The Cohasset Skippers, the number 1 seed, have played to an 11-1 lead here entering the fourth quarter. Gus Green leading the way with 3 goals, but it goes up and down the lineup. Timmy Donovan's got a couple of goals. Jake Dolan with 2 goals. Ty Dwyer now with 2 goals. Shane Mulcahy and Max Mohannon also with single tallies. As the possession is still unknown, it'll be Soren Edwards scooping it for Nantucket. Loses it and goes down as the Skippers will gain the first possession here in the fourth quarter. Is 1-1 after one quarter of play. Jake Johnson netted one with 10 seconds to go, but it has been all Cohasset after that.
Great save by Jeremy. Okay,
Jenkinson up ahead, intercepted. Nearly a perfect pass, but now Cohasset with numbers. Dolan makes a move. And now backs it out as again, the time is now the ally of the Skippers. Got to say a quick thank you to the athletic director, Henry Stevens, here at Barnstable High School. Made it very easy
rolled up the red carpet for
and
us.
comfortable for us to get in here. We've got 2 booths actually around the press box here, and
nice backyard barbecue again.
Absolutely great to have Denise and her crew help us get off island and join up with the Nantucket Booster Club to root on the boys here, but
there you go.
Unfortunately, they have run into a buzzsaw. Jenkinson out of net here. Pass goes in front. Good recovery by the Whalers. Good athletic move to find some space here by number 7. That's Max Monahan. As, once again, the Skippers can work it around here. They've had possession for nearly 2 minutes. Green, pass, inside shot.
Oh.
Shot goes wide. That was Ty Dwyer, number 11 in the middle. He had another opportunity, went low, unable to get to it. Just wide of the net. Again, just very crisp interior passing by the Skippers. Here's another one. Just very few of those, just off of a stick. It's been right in the pocket. And even when they don't hit the pocket, they recover.
They've made their passes today.
Absolutely. And again, Arann Hanlon for the Whalers, leading scorer, has been held scoreless. Here's Green with another opportunity. Shot is blocked in front, but quickly there to recover are the Skippers.
What do we got?
And timeout called by Steve Rotondi. We'll take a quick break here on the NFHS, NSC, and NCTV. Come back with 9:27 to go here in the fourth. The Skippers with an 11-1 lead in the Division 4 state semifinal.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Support for the NSE provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by Myrick, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MyrickLaw.com to learn how Myrick can assist you with your legal needs. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast. Cohasset after that. They've scored 10 straight, 5 in the second and 5 in the third. Pass Arann over the stick and out of bounds, so it'll be turnover to the Whalers.
Hey, just let's move this ball up the field and get one.
Canton Jenkinson looking for some help. Pass is tipped. And Yates.
Don't turn this ball over. We got a penalty.
First penalty of the afternoon.
Exactly.
So
get the ball in
not
the box.
only has it been an offensive showcase, it's been a very clean game here.
Now,
Here's Hanlon.
I mean, they've got an opportunity here to play for a little pride here and put this one in the back of the net and get another opportunity.
Pass tipped away. And that will stop the clock here with 8:25 to go here in the fourth, I should say. First penalty assessed to either team. Slash will be 1 minute. And that'll be on Gus Green, the junior attacker. He's got 3 goals on the game, so I guess he can afford to the whistle blown on him here. As the Whalers will put it in here. Man up here, opportunity. Little give and go. Here's a shot from up top. Whizzes wide. Noah Stringer trying to find the net. Again, hasn't been much action against Lincoln Pattison, but he's played splendidly, allowing just the 1 goal here. Tyler Miller over to Hanlon up top. Again, Arann Hanlon leading scorer for the Whalers.
That was good ball movement.
Unable to even get a shot off here yet. Here's a shot from Hanlon, goes high, again, from a distance, and there was a guy right on his hands. That was number 13, Noah Rafferty, junior defenseman for the Skippers. 7:52 to play. Whalers still with a man up. But they are down 10 goals. I don't think they have a 10-goal play, do they? That'd be great.
Hey, just get one.
Yep. Starts with 1. Off the stick of Hanlon.
Great recovery, watching his back.
And pass goes off Nolan Moskrop's stick. Just, again, pressing a little bit.
No, but that's where Cohasset has made those plays today. Those dialed in, putting it right into the box. And Nantucket has just missed that, 2 inches too high, and it's out of his reach. And that's kind of the story of today.
Nice catch off the turf there by Mullally. And he sprints ahead of the Whalers here. Gains the zone, goes all the way behind the net. And Max Mohannon now controls as the Skippers can use some more clock here. Down to 7:10 left in the game. Cohasset in complete control here as the number 4 seeded Whalers battled to a 1-1 tie after one quarter, but it has been all Cohasset after that, as they have found the net for 10 consecutive goals.
They're just playing pass.
Yep. They're going to make the Whalers come out and break it up, which also creates opportunities. Here's a sprint in pass, interior pass, Green, athletic shot, save made by Jeremy Jenkinson. Good hustle by Soren Edwards to try and gain the possession, but it'll be Skipper ball with 6:20 now and counting here in the fourth quarter. You are watching the NFHS network. Locally, here's another shot, save made by Jenkinson. Locally on Nantucket, on the NSC on YouTube, and channel 1072 on NCTV. Coach Aloisi saves the possession with a timeout. Could have been something there, but
so I wonder what they got 20 seconds to get it over. I wonder what that clock is at.
Yeah, does it reset with a timeout, or it does not reset with a timeout? So 5:58 to go. We'll keep it here as again we're
just want to see him matriculate upfield and put it in the back of the net. Just one, get this clear, find the open man, and put one in.
Now talking about those final moments here for some of the seniors for the Whalers. Again, Miles Bodette, Jake Johnson, David Cirillo, the X-Man, Sue Jamali, in all likelihood have played their final games here for the Whalers, but plenty to be proud of. If you would have said that this team,
Tim Sullivan,
after
senior too,
what happened last year and who they lost, again, that whole defensive squad minus Canton Jenkinson, to be able to retool and make a Final Four run.
It just you want to build off that growth of this year and the next year. And honestly, these kids, best thing they could do for themselves is get out there all summer and work on whatever they need to work on, quite honestly.
Absolutely.
On the island, get out there and play some lax with your buddies.
Absolutely.
And really, really be committed, and they can improve themselves and come back as a better team next year and probably end up seeing these guys again at some point.
Could very well happen, yeah. Again, head coach Sam Aloisi, Corey Gamble, the assistant coach, and Tony Chiranzi doing a great job getting these boys all set up to go. Again, these two teams met in early May, and it was kind of ugly. 17-3 was the final. This will be hopefully a little bit closer, but certainly more competitive.
Yeah, you just look at that first quarter and
yeah.
show that the possibility was there.
Good sprint through by Hanlon.
Midi clear, one of my favorite plays.
Hands free shot, scores!
Like I said, just get one, and we get a penalty.
Arann Hanlon
slash on Arann.
The Nantucket goal scored by number 4, Arann Hanlon.
Coast to coast, midi clear to a shot on goal, and he finds the net for the second goal for the Whalers. 5:45 to play here. You take a look. He's at the 30. He's at the 25. And touchdown.
So that's after the goal. That should be Nantucket ball. The ball crossed the net. That's a dead ball foul.
Let's see if they get that.
No, they're not going to get it.
Yeah, they're setting it up for
the ball crossed the net
they're
before.
Talking here, though. I think Sam's bringing up that point exactly. But, yeah, so Stringer might.
Yeah, that ball crossed the net before the penalty.
Nope. Apparently not. Need to look at the replay.
I did.
I know. We saw it. But nonetheless, the Whalers gain possession
here. Get it over. Get in the box.
Soren Edwards able to get it in. Stringer 11-2 now. 5:40 to go. Whalers shot, save made again. Gotta Just got to
Get
start firing.
A little more angle, though. That's an awfully tough angle to shoot
Jake
on.
Grant, once again, he had a couple of those low angle shots in the win against Ipswich.
Hey,
and there's a turnover. So Whalers will get it back. 5:19 to go in the fourth.
How much time left in the penalty?
Not sure. They do not have it on the scoreboard here at Barnstable. So
great defensive play by Cohasset.
Flipped ahead. Tyler Miller able to
nice,
spin out of
Tyler. Go lefty.
And sprint ahead.
Go. Push it. Push it. Your man down.
Get that zone. Here we go.
Don't let them. 6-on-5. Come on.
And
boom. Hands free.
Hanlon inside.
See,
goes through.
Cohasset has made those plays.
Absolutely.
Today. And that's why it's 11-2.
4:49 to play here. And I hate to say it, but 4:49 left here in the Whalers season. Ball's loose! And a flag down as Pattison was tripped. So
unintentional. But
a couple of penalties here late, but nothing chippy. Just inadvertent stick there got into the legs of Pattison, the senior.
It was a push. Actually, that wasn't even a trip. It was a push.
Wow.
That's what they called it.
Yep.
So we'll take 30 seconds of man down. And do they get a free clear? They get a free clear.
Yep. So the Whalers will be on defense and a man down as Jake Grant will step into the rectangle with 4:43 to play here in the fourth. Skippers up 11-2. As they look to advance to another state title opportunity. The last time was in 2023. They also won it in 2018, so championship pedigree to say the least. Here's Green, looking. Great. Gets it right back. Edwards lets him go free behind the net.
They move off ball.
Crisp pass to Dolan. Off his stick, flipped
like that. Nice.
And even strength there. Stringer comes in to complete the defensive unit. As again, Cohasset could be in just no hurry whatsoever with 3:50 and counting here in the fourth. Here's Monahan. Here's a shot. Oh, great save. Gus Green with an absolute rocket that somehow Jeremy Jenkinson was able to get a piece. It gives him a little point. He robbed Gus Green of that one, but Green's gotten the better of him here today with 3 goals already. As Cohasset's got 4 guys that have scored multiple goals off the stick. Well, nearly every loose ball.
Go.
Here's an opportunity
Nice.
for Nantucket on the fast break.
Play here. Let's see.
Canton
Come
Jenkinson.
On.
Pass goes through and will roll
And
out of bounds.
That's kind of the story of Nantucket's day right there.
Yeah.
Cohasset's made those plays.
Nantucket unable to finish.
Just not as crisp as they need to be.
We knew they were going to have to play nearly mistake-free, and unfortunately they just have not done that. For us watching here, the Cohasset Skippers riding a 14-game win streak. Looks in all likelihood that they will move that to 15 and have an opportunity to play for a state championship. And Jenkinson able.
Great. Break out. Somebody needs to break to this right side. Look at all this green grass over here. There you go. Nice.
Good long pole passing there.
Great clear.
Jenkinson gets it up. And Jeremy Jenkinson going to come out of net here.
Letting Sujamale go in for his final appearance of his senior year.
There you go. Classy move by Coach Aloisi as he realizes the game out of hand here right now, but in the final 2 minutes, he gets an opportunity to showcase one of his seniors that's been with the program for 4 years plus.
Fan favorite.
And
team favorite.
Fan favorite because we get to say Suge. Again, got to thank the Barnstable Athletic Department. Here's a shot. Off the post.
Save.
That was Nolan Moskrop, just the second shot from number 24. The Barnstable Athletic Department And Henry Stevens and his staff took very good care of us getting set up here today. Got a shout out Backyard Barbecue one more time here as they stepped up to the plate and helped us get off island here and bring home the live stream coverage of the Division 4 state semi. Nice advance in.
Good look, though.
Denied. Miller unable to find the net, and a minute 45 now left in the game and the Whalers season.
They're going to ride them tough here. They called their Whaler ride.
Lincoln Pattison, a senior for Cohasset.
Nice clear.
Mulcahy and Mullally, the other seniors. Just 3 seniors on this team, so the championship pedigree continues next year as well.
Dialed in, definitely.
11-2 our score here with just over a minute to play here in the fourth quarter from W. Leo Shields Memorial Field in Barnstable, Massachusetts, the state semifinal for the Division 4 boys lacrosse. Coming up later on from this same field will be the Division 3 state semi between some more Cape and Islands League teams, the Falmouth Clippers and the Nauset Warriors.
They're just going to play keep away for the next 50 seconds.
And I think that's what it's going to be. So Cohasset will move to 21-2 behind 11 goals scored against a very stingy defense all season long. The Whalers gave up just 106 goals. But Cohasset found the net 11 times here this afternoon. Timmy Donovan's got 2, Gus Green with 3, Jake Dolan with 2, Ty Dwyer with 2 goals, Max Monahan and Shane Mulcahy each with single tallies, just 2 goals scored by the Whalers. Arann Hanlon finally notched one here in the fourth quarter, and Jake Johnson scored the first goal for the Whalers way back in the first quarter.
That's it.
And that will do it here. The Whalers season ends.
Hats off to the Cohasset Skippers.
As the number 1 seeded Cohasset Skippers
That's the final Division
defeated
4 Final Four matchup with the score.
your Nantucket Whalers here 11-2, and we'll move on to the.
I have our winning 50-50 number.
Ooh, let's hear who won this. The
If you are
50-50.
holding this winning ticket, please report to the
Drum roll,
bar.
please.
Claim your prize. Our winning 50-50 number 271-8788.
There you go.
And fans are winning 50-50 number
As you hear
271-8788.
Joe Rubin, the PA announcer here for Barnstable, announcing the 50-50 raffle winner. And the winner of this state semifinal here, the Cohasset Skippers, the final 11-2. As the Whalers season will come to an end, their record will be 17-6. 21-2 now, the record for the Cohasset Skippers, and they will await the winner of the Manchester-Essex-Norwell game, which I'm assuming is being played out here on the NFHS network. I'm going to pull it up here on my phone and see if we can get a score of that one. That game just started at 5 o'clock up in Watertown. Manchester-Essex upset the number 2 seed, so as the 7 seed, they did a great job.
Some gumption.
And they face a very good Norwell team as well.
And Cohasset undefeated in Division 4 play. Both of the losses came to Situate and Falmouth, Division 3
and Division 2. Yeah. So great job again. Got to tip your cap to Coach Steve Rotondi. Also is the athletic director there at Cohasset. And, man, he had his boys ready to play, and they executed better than our guys, unfortunately. And that's what it just came down to on both ends as the Whalers' season comes to an end, unfortunately. A little bit earlier than maybe we wanted, yeah. But again, second consecutive Final Four berth. Made school history doing that.
Exactly.
Made school history last year by winning the state title for the first time ever. Again, they just ran into a buzzsaw here today in this Cohasset Skipper team. Very good, very well coached, and again, they just executed on all aspects of the game.
But you look at the team that won our state championship team from last year. They had a lot of growth from the year before.
100%.
And ideally, that's the plan for our boys for next year. And
Absolutely.
just take the time to figure out what you need to do to become a better lacrosse player and commit yourself to it. You've got 1 season left right now for all those juniors who've been playing since the majority of those kids have played since the 3rd grade. and just
For
commit
you.
to it. Yeah, exactly.
Amongst others.
Commit to it. And I will always remember these 10th grade, these 11th graders, the majority of them, they start playing in 3rd grade. They lost all 8 games. They lost 7 games, and their head coach had to go away, and I coached their last game.
Yeah.
And they won their last game, and it was like they won the world championship. And the other team was like, "What's going on?" Like, you don't understand. And
it's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, but it just goes to show you, you just keep working it, and just get better every day. And that's what they need to commit to come back here next year to probably meet the Cohasset skippers again.
Once again, and maybe Norwell and Sandwich
Something
and all
like
those.
that.
Good,
but it's just like I said, you got 1 year left for all those kids, Andrick, get a little better for next year. Keep the
momentum
keep
going.
the momentum
here,
going.
The culture is
exactly
certainly built there. The culture
That's
is
it.
certainly in place.
And you
that
can't
winning
say
culture
enough. You can't say enough about David Cirillo and all the other seniors on the team who have just been here. David has been so fantastic at the X and has helped. Honestly, he's the reason we're in so many of these games.
Absolutely.
The face-off is another possession for
It's
the
a
team,
weapon.
and it gave us so many possessions this year that enabled us to stay in games, win games, come back in games, and hats
It's been
off
a fun
to David.
season.
Hats off to David.
It's been a very fun season again. It was just a little less fun than last year,
That's it.
unfortunately, but another
Miles
great
Bodette,
season.
too, coming back and showing leadership at the attack position.
Absolutely.
And,
second leading scorer.
Yeah, just these kids are really, really great kids, and just want to see them continue to develop and make the most of their last year coming up.
Well, we will sign off here again. Got to say a quick thank you to the NFHS, Dave Blanchard and Don Boyle, for believing in what we do here. Our first foray with the NFHS. Look forward to more of that, obviously. We do have another game coming up here tonight, so we'll sign off here from Barnstable as the final from the state semifinal here in Division 4, 11-2. The Cohasset Skippers move on to the state championship game, defeating the number 4 seeded Nantucket Whalers. Thanks very much for joining me. I am Chris Morris for Hammy Hurd, Charles Douglas, the Maestro, and Andrew Dame, your eyes on the field. Again, congratulations to the Cohasset Skippers. They will play for a state title coming up here very shortly.